Welcome to the April 10th, 2017 edition of Elements of Spirit. This is the free weekly reading series from ediblespirit.com and your host, Michael Domitrovich, made in Detroit, uh, raised by restaurateurs, and illuminated by Archangel Michael, my homie, Archangel Blue, 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 Blue. There's like blue everywhere today. Um, that's how I know he's close because I suddenly feel like wearing blue. But anyway, I've been getting great feedback on this reading series for the last week or two. People just calling me out of nowhere to be like, it really works and it feels really personal. And that was what I was really hoping to do with this. I mean, not hoping, guided, totally guided out of nowhere to give you guys readings through the elements of earth, air, water, fire, and ether. Only 5 different little individual blips of readings, but by combining ether with the element that is associated with your astrological sun sign, earth, air, water, or fire, you end up getting a really unique edible spirit style reading as to how to work with these invisible facets of your life and existence through your week. And that's what I'm all about, is taking this out there stuff and trying to apply it in a way that's useful to you and your experience. P.S. I have this like new gesture that I'm making. I guess it's like a zip-it, but I'm kind of using it for emphasis. It just started happening like 2 days ago. I don't know what it's about. After doing an amazing meditation at Bloomingdale's with the gals of That's So Retrograde. If you've been following me, you will know that I do that podcast with those girls whenever possible. There's clips of it on the website. Anyway, getting distracted. Sorry today. We're going to dive into your ether reading. And check the description in this reading for the element associated with your sign, and that will give you the follow-up reading that you listen to after this reading, which is the ether reading. So without further ado, very cool. We love this. Very interesting diagram, guys, with a lot of meaning coded into it. Super simple. Looks like a cross, could be a cross, but that's not how I'm receiving it. Perfect equidistant crossroads. Horizontal axis of time. Ooh, axis slash axis. And the vertical axis of space. One is about earth, one is about heaven. It's the horizontal and the vertical axis. Crossroads. Crossroads. It's not really a turning point, but that's what they're giving me. Crossroads, turning point between being created and being the creator. Very cool. Okay, crossroads. Crossroads is very cool. Yeah, like I said, horizontal axis of time versus the vertical axis of space. Time is the x-axis, space is the y-axis, and then I like to think that meaning is the z-axis, so you go left to right, up to down, in to out, is kind of how we create meaning. I'm working on unpacking that idea now in my own work, but we're getting it in a different way today. So I just have to give a shout out to all of the different gods and goddesses that are said to oversee this the crossroads. There's a lot of them. Hermes, Mercury in Greek and Roman mythology. Elegua, Legba in Santeria and Haitian mythology. Loki in Norse mythology. Coyote, trickster, ruler of the crossroads. So it's associated with crossroads, trickster energy, things changing, things stopping on a dime. Interesting. So there's also something in here which says, like, even though there's a million retrogrades going on in the world right now, in the universe, in the solar system, you must remember that this is also a crossroads, where what happens when you get to the crossroads? You get a choice. Do I go right? Do I go left? Do I go up? Do I go down? We're not really dealing with in or out here. We're sort of dealing with right, left, up, down. And this question of this is a turning point between being created and being the creator. And I just have to tell you guys, I point down here to a single ant that is now, I don't know if you can see her, him. There he is, crawling. So that's no mistake. I pointed down and there's the ant. Ants usually have to do with like group mentality, group mind, and the whole group kind of working towards the same goal of structure and society and all of this stuff. But what happens when you are at the crossroads? It's like, do I continue being created by my past, by the accumulation of stories that I have told myself, or by my plans or fears of the future? Do I allow the past and the future to create me by locking me into this de facto, unchosen, anti-free will present? Or do I become the creator? Do I become the one that is creating this present with each breath? Do I just keep going along the timeline of choices and earth and horizontal axis, or do I open up to spirit, space, potential, presence, space, ether, space, ether, same difference, in the present moment. And the idea is that when you tune into space, you leave time. When you tune into the vertical axis, you leave time. You open up infinity in the midst of eternity. So eternity is along the horizontal and infinity is along the vertical. And what happens is that in that moment, you connect to the part of you that is the creator, the one that is creating as opposed to being creative. You assume an active, some people say co-creative role, but forget that right now. You are the creator. So it's a solo job. Creating versus passive role of being created by the accumulation of your past choices and the anticipation of your future experiences. The single ant shows up just to remind us that there is a group mind part of this, that like the momentum of your past choices, which they're reminding me, ether of last week, your past choices brought you to this moment. You choose to move forward with a loving acceptance of the presence, right? So that was like a moment of orientation. This has a little bit more of choice implied because that's what always happens when you get to the crossroads is even if you just continue forward, then you're making a choice not to choose. But when you get to the crossroads, that's the major energy of it. It's like, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go north? Do I turn back? All of those are fair options. Do I go off the grid completely? Or, now they're showing me the z-axis, do I sit down in the middle of the crossroads and orient myself in time and space like we did last week so that I am balanced and peaceful enough that I can go in and not only remember myself as the creator, but become conscious of my power as the creator, and thereby make choices based on the truth, who I truly am, rather than making those choices based on who I believed I was, who I believe I may be, who I think I am because of what I did or what I will do. Ether here, y'all, just says, this is a moment, this is a crossroads, and this is a turning point between being created and being the creator. Do you want your life to be done to you, or do you want to make your life? Do you want to have to choose your choices, or do you want to choose your choices? Empowerment, free will, activation, acceptance, all at the forefront this week. Yeah, okay. Very beautiful, very simple. Affirmation for ether this week. I embrace my power to choose my direction. I embrace my power to choose my direction. I embrace my power to choose my direction. Say it with me. I embrace my power to choose my direction. Once again, simple statement, has lots of stuff loaded inside of it. Um, I embrace my power. So that A says I have power. I embrace it says I don't fear it. I don't question it. I embrace it. I welcome it. I integrate it. I embrace my power to choose. I enjoy and accept and welcome my power, which I'm defining as a power to choose, as opposed to a result of having no choice. I always have a power to choose something, even if it's to choose not to choose, or like I said, to choose to stop, to sit down, to turn back. All of those are valid choices. But I embrace my power to choose my direction. Do I just keep going? Oh, yes. Do I stop and open up? I was just going to say, maybe you've been doing a lot of inner work, and now it's not time to explore and experiment and experience internally. Maybe now it's actually time to choose your right to move forward, to choose to make your direction forward along the horizontal path of time. It's like maybe you've been working really hard and exploring and journeying and studying and learning, and now it's actually just time to apply what you've learned and make a choice. But that's gonna stuff that's gonna come up in Earth, Air, Water, Fire readings. What this is actually just reminding you is that when you come to the crossroads, you are not building an ant colony. You are a single ant who can choose to go in whatever direction he wants to or she wants to, free from the dictates of all that that society has told you, free from what you've told yourself, or from the stories that have defined you, or from the fears or the choices that you anticipate approaching. So be strong, be secure, be solid. Bravery, sure, but more so commitment is really what's being called for here. And embracing the power to choose your direction. So just even accepting that it's your choice. These things are not things that are happening to me. This is my journey. This is my path. I can turn right. I can turn left. I can go straight. I can go back. I can sit down. I can float up. I'm at the crossroads. I'm at this place of magic and transformation and change. Oh, P.S. Remember, I found the other day, I was reading animal cards, coyote medicine. Trickster medicine comes in when things are getting too tight. And it seems like trickster's spilling the milk, or, knocking over the cradle, or whatever the trickster's doing. But the idea is that that's why they have that trickster energy. They come in to screw with your sense of complacency and stability so that changes can be brought in, whether you like it or not. So Crossroads presents many opportunities for change, many opportunities for changing direction. And the affirmation that's coming through the ether here is that the crossroads is not something that's being imposed upon you. It's an opportunity. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to embrace your power to choose your direction. I embrace my power to choose my direction. Love you guys. Check out Earth, Air, Water, Fire, not necessarily in that order. Find the description of your sign and element in this description for the ether reading. And I will see you next week.